And this is the part of the show where we move to our more juicier topics that require a little bit more time. But a bunch of stuff happened last week in the world of Hollywood because Warner Brothers got put up for sale, and I think it's gonna get bought. But there have been some new developments. If you guys didn't hear, Netflix has made a final bid to buy Warner Brothers, and Hollywood started freaking out. Even Christopher Nolan got the Directors Guild of America to issue a statement being like, please don't do this. Don't do this at all. Even the Writers Guilds were like, don't do this, because Ted Sarandos one day was like, we pinky promise to release the Warner Brothers films in theaters. And then, like, the next day, he's like, you know what? Theaters are outmoded. Actually, fuck movie theaters. And people were like, what the fuck? So then Paramount, who thought they had this deal in the bag as of this recording right now, they have launched a hostile takeover of Warner Brothers because let me know if this is too much in the weeds. Netflix is buying Warner Brothers at $27 and some change a share. And then Paramount was like, we got $30 a share. And apparently in the world of legalese, you have to legally take the highest bid, even if you want to go with the other company, because you have a fiduciary responsibility to get the highest amount of money, which is kind of wild.
You have to put it for a vote and all that. You have to go through the hoops and let the shareholders choose, basically.
Yes. A lot of people are on Team Netflix. A lot of people are on Team Paramount. So I don't know what team you guys are on. So let's just decide what still scrolling team is on. There's 3 of us. So we'll have a majority vote. And whoever wins this majority vote, we will support in buying Warner Brothers, right?
We will buy a share?
We will buy a share.
No? You got buy a share money?
We're still scrolling money. Okay. Steph, are you Team Paramount or Team Netflix, and why?
Well, when I first heard that Netflix was going to buy Warner Brothers, I said no. Because
just no.
just no. Because with Netflix doing their like only releasing on streaming and that's it, that's annoying. I don't like that. But now that Paramount is in the game, in the running, I feel like they can treat it better, especially because Paramount has been around. It's like Paramount has been around since like classic cinema. So, and Warner Brothers has been around almost just as long. So I think they have a better chance at doing a better job with distribution with Warner Brothers and with their IPs probably than Netflix does. You're muted.
Listen, for that reason, Steph, you're officially putting your vote in for
Paramount.
Okay. Well, that's 1 vote for Paramount. Derek, are you Team Paramount or Team Netflix?
Stefania, I wasn't aware you supported fascists.
Oh!
This is really... No, so hold on. So this is why this whole Warner Brothers being sold situation is so fucked. It's incredibly fucked. It reminds me of the Bo Burnham song that's like, you're really gonna make me vote for Joe Biden. But right? Because nobody really wanted to be like, yeah, fucking Biden, bro. But what was the alternative? You know? That's how I feel about this sale, because Netflix is going to further destroy movie making, right? Justin, you mentioned that Ted Sarandos was like, the release window will evolve to be more consumer friendly, even though we're finally starting to see the box office gain some ground back again. People are starting to go back to the movies. Because guess what? Better movies are coming out more consistently now, right? Specifically even from Warner Brothers, which is a whole other discussion as to why this is frustrating. So I don't want that. I don't want Netflix to take it. But Paramount is owned by David Ellison. His father is Larry Ellison, which is he owns Oracle, which is who's buying TikTok. They're all buddy with Trump. Right, they fired Steve Colbert. They're
Ooh.
essentially becoming a right-wing propaganda arm for the Trump administration, which is why yesterday a Trump regulator was like, yeah, I don't think the Netflix deal is going to close because of, citing like antitrust regulations. Right. So like the deal wasn't even announced for like a full 48 hours. The administration's already saying like, oh, this was kind of not a good deal. I don't think it'll pass. And Paramount complained that their bid wasn't chosen. Like the whole thing just reeks of like they're just trying to take state control over some more media. But Paramount, to Stefania's point, would do a better job at actually respecting movie making and putting out good stuff and treating it like the studio, Warner Brothers, like the studio that it is. So in a perfect world where we didn't have to worry about like politics and stuff, I'd go with Paramount. But since we do, unfortunately, I'm gonna fucking have to vote for Ted Sarandos on Netflix.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, am I the tie-breaking vote?
I'm casting my Joe Biden vote.
Oh my gosh.
Yet again.
Okay.
This
I
is
didn't
some
think it
serious.
would come to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm on Shark Tank. Sharks, I have a proposal. Here's the thing. I recognize the moment that we are in right now, and that the Republicans are trying to do a hostile takeover of our media with Ellison's buying Oracle and Oracle buying TikTok and Trump bringing back TikTok. It's a whole thing, right? Also, with Netflix, I have seen the way they treat theatrical releases. And I have seen the movies that they think don't deserve to be in theaters, right? I saw Wake Up Dead Man in a theater. I saw Frankenstein in a theater. And those are theatrical experiences. However, at the same time, I also know that there is a kernel of truth in the way that viewers are watching media these days, right? Like I know we like to cite Stranger Things, but a more recent example is K-pop Demon Hunters, which I think they could have made more money if they released it in theaters, but also they're making a lot of money with K-pop Demon Hunters playing every single day, every hour on every single kid's iPhone, right? I understand them both. But at the same time, I have to say, maybe, unfortunately, Republican movies are better than no movies at all. You know what I mean? Like, if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, the theatrical experience is either going to be way too expensive and that people treat it like a concert, right? Or you have exactly 2 business days to watch it in theaters. I don't want to in that reality, right? And Netflix has been provably wrong about good movies that should be in theaters that they just forget about, or release movies and television shows that require no promotions. You know what I mean? I think Steven Spielberg had a good point like a couple years ago where he was like, Netflix should not be up for Oscars. They should be up for Emmys because they are made for television movies. And if they want to keep talking like this, give them Emmys. Give them Golden Globes, not Oscars if they don't care about the theatrical experience that much, right?
That's a great point.
I just think that if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, it's a death nail that I don't think that we could fully recover from in the theatrical space, right?
Yeah. There is also something to be said about let Paramount buy them and let them put out a bunch of shitty fucking movies because they're trying to like influence the media. They're trying to influence the mainstream with
the market
whatever
will
values.
Correct itself.
And let them do that. It's a risk because along with that will come control of CNN and the TV stuff and things that are not just in the theaters. And that's a lot easier for them to put stuff out, right? Very quickly, just say like, hey, if you work at CNN, all right, you're going to fall in line with what we want you to say or you're fired. And that's like, essentially making like a more liberal centrist Fox News on people's screen. I think that's the bigger concern than the actual movie making. True. But because at the end of the day, they don't have that Netflix money, right? Netflix seemingly has like billions of dollars to do all sorts of shit, right? They're opening a campus in the Northeast, somewhere in the New England or something like that, right? They're doing this sale now, and they're just gonna keep on increasing prices. I'm kind of in a weird spot with Netflix because I get it free through my phone plan, but hold on, but I get ads. So I feel like they make more money off of me because I see a bunch of ads than if I were to get a subscription, right? Like there's no way to not help Netflix besides just not having it, right? So it's like a huge just like money machine compared to like a Paramount where, yeah, maybe they'll take it, they'll do what AT&T did and kind of shit the bed with it, and maybe they'll end up selling it. Or maybe they'll leave it alone. They'll stop trying to fuck with influencing people for whatever like conservative agenda they have in mind.
Right.
But it's a risk either way. And I think you guys are maybe selling me a little bit on voting for Paramount. Right? I don't know yet.
Listen, I think the still scrolling stance as of this podcast right now is unfortunately Paramount.
Yeah, seems
which
like
evil empire do you want to win?
Let us know in the comments. Fall of democracy or fall of movie making?
There is opportunities for resistance through art. I don't think that. I mean, think about how light this year was on movies. Just the amount of movies made, how light it was. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that cut in half. That's insane. That's like less movies than ever, right? And you only have a couple days to see it in theaters. Hell no. Like, oh my gosh. I couldn't. No, we gotta put pedal to the metal, right? But we'll see how it develops. We'll see if we can buy that one single stock for still scrolling. And we'll see how that goes, right?